Hello and welcome to Citizens Bank Park, where we're going to see the Twins versus the Phillies in an exciting exhibition game. We got a few people in the booth here. My name is Jay Bird, and we have Kevin Ariana and Milo Grams here. Guys, say hi.
Hey guys.
Oh, audience, what's up, everyone?
Yeah, and today we're going to be trying a very new and exciting sort of MLR opportunity here on MLR Tonight. We're going to be going and doing a live exhibition game between these two teams. And you guys think it's going to be fun today?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think right now they're warming up. The pitchers are warming up a little bit. We're still waiting on the first pitch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so
As well, I know Theo has done not so well this year, so it's going to be good to see him try to bounce back, especially against you, who's been very good as well.
yeah, Steele has one inning under his belt. We might be having some technical difficulties here. I'm going to try to close out of some things here, but my video output's kind of scummy, so we'll see if it's bad or good or whatnot. But yeah, Dix is sponsoring us. But yeah, we're just going to be doing a sort of a laid-back sort of broadcast here. We're going to try to air out all 6 innings, which I realize I have 9 innings on the scorecard. So that's, I'm going to quickly fix that. But yeah, it's going to be just a kind of laid back. We might have a few commercial breaks, a few different sort of distractions or whatnot. We're just going to see how it works and see if it makes for a good, entertaining broadcast. Do we have the game starting soon? Do we have the pitchers' pitches in, and who's at bat?
We have a pitch in for the Phillies, and Dad's reference is actually up. He's the very first person coming in here. So we're just gonna wait on that.
All right, so I'm gonna put in all the batter details into the box score. So Dad's reference is, you know who's on deck?
Jack Marnett.
Jack Marnett. All right, so we're gonna watch this game and have a good amount of fun. We have a few things planned. If you want to call in, if you want to be on the sort of the call-in list for this game, we'd love to have you on to sort of talk about the game and everything. So we're waiting on the at-bat result.
Yep, the very first one. And I'm still, I'm not sure 100% what to expect in terms of in terms of this game, but just
we're gonna try to get through the entire thing, but I think we've set like a soft timer to about 10. I think that'd be a safe bet that if the game isn't ended there, we'll just finish it where it is and we'll see who's on top then. But yeah, about these two teams, I mean, we got a 4-5 Phillies squad versus I think a 5 and what is it, 4? 5-4?
5-4. The Twins just lost against the Astros in Houston.
All right, so we both have they're both teams that have lost in their past games. So who do you think has the best chance of winning here?
I think the Twins. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I think the Phillies have a good shot. The Twins started off very hot this year, and they just have sort of lost out in these last few games. They play Toronto and they play Houston now, and it seems like one of the Twins now.
So
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Kev.
I think they're both coming off losses, but these teams aren't really as far apart as you might think. I mean, if you think about it, just like a session or 2 sessions ago, the Twins were, a lot of people were saying they were the top, one of the top 3 teams in the league, and the Phillies have been struggling for a while. So if you had this game a couple of sessions ago, it might have been, it might have looked bleak for the Phillies, but I think 4-5, 5-4, whatever. I think the Phillies have a shot at it. And I do like the pitching for the Phillies. I think the Phillies pitching definitely has the advantage here.
Yeah, we got some crowd discussion. Mr. Juan Diego de las Rosas says that the Phillies are going to take this because you over Steele. Do you guys agree with that? What do you think about Oliver Yu? We having some comm difficulties here.
Sorry, he's been very solid all year. Now I'd have to check again. I don't remember if he made the All-Star game or not. Did he get that last spot?
Oliver, no, he did not.
It's been kind of a shame. He's done very well this year. I mean, 10 runs and 21 innings. Not absolutely phenomenal, but he's done very well. And I think the Phillies are pretty lucky to have had. And I think he's going to even do better than he already has in the second half of the season. We'll have to see after this.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at at his past few games, he's given up 1 earned run in 3 consecutive starts, and that 1 earned run was the first inning of the oldest of those 3 starts, which was a home run to Dom Stakes of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Well, we're still waiting for this first pitch here. We'll see if Daz Reference can get here soon.
Yeah, I heard a little bit. I talked to the Twins beat reporter. What's his name?
Lavelle.
Yeah, Lavelle. I talked to Lavelle, and he said he had a story or something coming up where he met with Geraldo McKenzie prior to today's scrimmage, and Geraldo McKenzie apparently said, "Listen, Twinkie was a great guy and a better catcher, but Mike's been looking for an excuse to start me all season. He finally got it." So, I mean, I'm sure he's joking there, but yeah, that news came out. I guess the day prior to this scrimmage that Twinkie Power was retiring.
So what?
What do you all think about that?
I guess we'll. Oh yeah, that is pretty much a big shame, because I know that he had some struggles as the first overall pick in the first season. I knew he was kind of picking it up though. I know in his season 2 debut he hit 2 doubles. I know I'm pretty sure he got the player of the game. And he was very fantastic in his debut, and he started to really pick it up and start to show that, yeah, this guy could be first overall material. And then it's just a shame. I mean, he was a good graphic designer, I can tell you that much. But yeah, I was gonna ask, I guess live on air, we were gonna see what would constitute as an auto K. I guess we can throw it to the crowd. I mean, this is entirely an experimental process. We don't really want to go 16 hours, I can assure you that.
Yeah, I think.
We might want to go like 10 minutes, do you think?
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
This is a fluid game. No team's losing really anything by losing or winning this game. Nobody's winning anything by winning this game, so we can go. We can go about 10 minutes, I think. And
Yeah.
how long has this one been going? I think I can't really judge by the beginning of the stream because we started technically 30 minutes
6.
before.
We're 6 minutes.
All right, so yeah, we'll go by that. So we'll give it 4 more minutes, and if not, we'll auto K Daz Reference. But obviously, that's not it's not the best of things. We'll see it. We'll see how it goes. We've got a good amount of people here,
Like to do.
especially. I mean, the Twins. I mean, if Oliver Yu is the best pitcher of these two, I don't think it's very much a good thing for them to immediately give up their first batter to an auto K. And also, just for ease, to make sure that this hasn't happened too many times, we do have emergency players. We do have backups that I guess both managers can pick and choose when they want to use their backups. So I guess Mike, if you wanna use your backup, I let Kev know, and I'll give you the first backup on the list. I have sort of like a line of people waiting here. Yeah, JD kind of scared me there because he was like, "Oh, both first overalls aren't playing anymore," and I was like, "Wait, did Garrett quit?" But nah, he didn't.
Okay, so we have a swing in.
Ooh.
Give it a second here to result.
All right, so we'll see how this plays out. I'll be giving the I'll be giving the play-by-play here. So Daz Reference steps up to the plate. He's been a pretty big offensive force for the Twins. He gives a few practice swings, and the pitcher is ready to go. He sets and deals 0-1. So that's a first strike from Oliver Yu, who fires it right down the middle. It's kind of a gimme. Daz Reference did not take on that, so he sets again. And swing. That was a ball low in the zone, and it's gone far, but it's hanging up there a little bit too long. It'll be caught for the first out of the inning, so that was a fly out. And that is the first out of the inning. So Oliver, you definitely got out of that one pretty unscathed. That wasn't the best pitch. It was about a fastball, a little low in the zone, and I don't know. Daz just kind of reached under it and kind of dumped it into center, like towards center field, and it didn't work out for him. What do you guys think?
Daz has had pretty good plate discipline all year, so seeing him swing at that low pitch is kind of uncharacteristic of him.
And I feel like if he got the barrel on it, he could have made something of it, but he just kind of he almost crouched for it.
Yeah, that was pretty solid defense by Tommy Brown too, out in center field there for the Phillies.
Yeah, there's we see Daz reference in the dugout here. He's kind of agitated with himself. You could see him running out of the dugout before the at bat started. He had his hands on his zipper. He was like, wait, I was in the bathroom. I think that's what I saw when I think that's what I saw him lip there. So
yeah,
definitely not the at bat he wanted to see there. But I guess he was a little too antsy there, running up the dugout stairs, just ready and hoping not to trip on his face. But yeah, Daz reference. Actually, we have a few words. I mean, I guess we'll save it for the second at bat. But we have a few. We have a nice card for Daz. So his second at bat. Stay tuned for that. I guess we have a nice card for a few of these guys, including Oliver Yu. I guess we can talk about right here. Oliver Yu, 2.81 ERA and 21.33 innings pitched. He has a 5.06 K per 9. Pretty decent pitcher, especially recently, where, like I said, he's given up 1 earned run in 3 consecutive starts. I mean, what do you think of Oliver, and do you think he has what it takes to sort of make his way out into the top of this very competitive National League pitching sort of collection?
Well, I think the National League pitching, as you mentioned, Jay, is very strong this year. But I think Oliver Yu has a chance. He's been here since season 1, and I think his experience is actually going to help him. I feel like a lot of times we see experience and say, all right, that's not going to be good for a player with a lot of pitches. But I think his pitches are going to help him out a lot. He's going to be even better this upcoming session.
Well, up steps Jack Marnett for the second plate appearance of the afternoon. We see Oliver Yu sort of wipe sweat from his brow. It's pretty cold in Philadelphia right now, but you know, the game kind of does that to you. It brings out just a lot of energy and exhortation, so you're bound to get pretty hot out there. A lot of players are actually wearing short sleeves there, but right now Jack Marnett steps up to the plate. And Oliver Yu will set. And here's the pitch. That is a slider swung on and missed for strike number 1. Oliver Yu definitely has a great slider there. It's one of his stronger pitches. Marnett, he steps back up to the plate. And here's the pitch. That is a ball inside. It almost actually scathed him. He kind of dives out of the way there, kind of jumps back, but the umpire does not give him a hit by pitch, and it didn't seem like it, so... good for Oliver Yu there. He kind of missed one there. He could have gotten very bad there with the runner on base. The pitch and popped up. This one is wide of third base. It's kind of creaming towards the stands, but it seems like it will be caught for out number 2. So 2 quick, easy outs for Oliver Yu. What do you think about this at bat?
Another patient at bat from Marnett, but man, he just got under that one. That was the swing he wanted. That was the pitch he wanted, but yeah, just couldn't get.
Yeah,
Marnett's had a pretty good year, but yeah, it's a scrimmage, and I think even from these scrimmages, you're going to see the pitches that aren't. You're going to see swings that are people experimenting with their swing as well.
Yeah, a lot of fly balls here for Oliver Yu here. I mean that's what you should expect here. That's what he's very good at, it seems. I mean, in cold weather like this, you should expect a lot of fly balls. I mean, balls don't really go far in sort of the wintry weather we got going on here tonight. It's in the low 40s here in Philadelphia, so it's pretty chilly. I mean, it's been a pretty chilly winter, so that's all you can expect here. Next up to bat while we wait is going to be the pitcher himself, Ricky Steele, who's batting third. What do you think about this batting the pitcher third here.
So this was actually interesting to me. I did hear some. I guess there were some comments a little earlier about a pitcher making his debut and batting third. It's definitely interesting. I mean, again, it's a scrimmage. It's an exhibition game, so it's not too big of a deal. But it definitely is interesting.
I mean, if we get a home run from the pitcher here, wouldn't that be something? First run from the pitcher in the inaugural MLR Tonight game broadcast. That'd be special. So we're waiting on the pitcher here. I think I saw him, and yes, we have the at bat in as the pitcher steps up. He's looking a little. He's looking a little strong, but as you might know, that Ricky Steele was actually a center fielder for the Pirates, so he's looking pretty comfortable up there at the plate as the pitch comes in. And he swings at the first pitch, and this is a routine grounder up the first base line. It is corralled by Ethan Franklin, and that will be it for the inning. And a ground out to the right side of the infield, and that is all for the Twins. We will be going to a quick commercial break and be back after this. All right, welcome back to Citizens Bank Park as we go to the bottom of the first, and here is the Phillies' chance to try to score on the young Ricky Steele, who's still sort of a fledgling pitcher. We do have a result in as the first batter comes up, Zach Anderson. Zach Anderson is a bit of a rookie. He's had only a few sessions thus far with the Phillies, but he's shown some promise. He has a home run in his career, and it's just that sort of pop, that sort of short swing that he can exhibit that can really be dangerous for a young pitcher like Steele. First pitch is a slider, is not offered at for a 1-0 count. Yeah, Zach was not being fooled by that one. It was a little bit in the dirt there, so a tough break from Steele, who might not have his breaking pitch there. As we see, he sets and delivers, and this one is actually swung at. Another slider, a little bit closer to the plate, but still a little bit into the dirt, and just Zach didn't see that one despite seeing the first one. So maybe the first one was a bit of luck in trying to figure out the break of that ball, or at least trying to figure out if it's a ball or not. So the count is even. The set and the pitch fouled down the line, and that one's pretty deep. That one's going to make the seats kind of go out a little bit towards the foul pole, but that one is definitely foul, and the count is 1-2. Set and the pitch, another foul ball. This one is a little bit a little bit more shallow, a little bit more to the left side of the stands. Third baseman will give it a look, but no chance there. Yeah, looks like Steele is just trying to fight him off with high fastballs in at the hands. Zach is swinging pretty well, but not getting any in play. Here is the pitch, and a swing and a miss, another slider. Zach Anderson could not seem to pick up the rotation on that one again. He got lucky with the first one, but 2 more sliders, 2 more strikes, and he gets a strikeout to start the inning, Ricky Steele.
If Steele keeps having movement like that on his slider, no one's gonna hit off him today. Man, that one dove at least a foot to the left. Jeez, that's a crazy pitch. Wow.
Yeah, the first one, I mean, it was a little rough, and then he kind of polished a little bit more. I mean, it's cold out there, and it makes your hands cold, so I can understand why. It's a little hard to get that one moving, but I guess as you can see him blowing his hands a little bit there. I mean, just keep keeping those hands warm, just keep getting into this game, and maybe you can be a little dangerous here. Next at bat's going to be KC Bats as we wait for the pitch there. The next after him is Willie Dustis, the All-Star. Willie Dustis was kind of under the radar for the Phillies going into most of the season, but recently he's exploded with a 2-home-run game. I'll bring up his graphic here as we talk about him. A 2-home-run game from Willie Dustis a few sessions ago against the Cardinals. He's hitting .357 with a .412 on-base percentage, and he was picked to be the Phillies' representation for the All-Star game. So obviously a pretty talented hitter here. But KC Bats is up to the plate as we wait for the pitch, or wait for the swing, I guess. So, what do you guys think about Willie? Oh, okay. So actually, we do have the swing here. So we're gonna go right into the swing. I guess talk about Casey later. As Casey comes up, he's a very stoic batter and a very stoic catcher. He's not known for his words, and you can see him straight-faced as he stands at the plate, ready for the pitch. And this one's a slider. I mean, Steele is really relying on that slider, but it kind of goes at the feet of Bats, and not much of an offering there. It was kind of reminiscent of his first slider, which didn't really go too well, and it's no 1 count. As Steele sets. Fastball outside. Casey also did not offer at that. He seems pretty content with staying put there, and the count is quickly 2-0. The pitch. Fastball cracked deep. This one could make it. This one's in center field. Fielder racing back at the wall, and that baby is gone. Casey Bats delivers a first-inning home run. That one was a beauty. Cracked deep into center field. That one must have hit over 400 feet. And just like that, the Phillies are out to a 1-0 lead.
Wow.
That was a beautiful swing. The crack of the bat was amazing. What do you guys think about that?
Just left that slider hanging that time. He was having a bunch of movement on it, but that one just did not move, and Steele didn't miss it. That's a great swing from him, and it's really lively to see that from another young bat from Bats. So great hit from him, great hitting, and Steele's got to be shaken up now.
Yeah, I mean, Dustis is usually considered as the sort of better of the 2 catchers in the Phillies system, but obviously, I mean, Bats, he had a great year last year, and he just comes in here and he just rakes again, just delivers a very clutch home run here, and just like that, the Phillies are up 1-0. I mean, in the cold weather, I guess it's easier to hear that sound, but it was just a beauty right there. Just as soon as you heard that, you knew that one was going to go deep, and sure enough, it did. 1-0 Phillies, as we wait for the swing from Willie Dustis.
It looked like, now maybe that's just me, Jay, but it looked like Geraldo McKenzie was kind of smack-talking some of the Phillies players there.
Was he?
It's got to shut him up pretty quickly.
Ooh, that one's tough. We might wait for a little while for Dustis. He's not online right now. Hopefully he got a few of those pings.
I have a swing.
Oh, you do have a swing. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we got ourselves the next batter. After that home run, obviously, Steele had a short meeting with his catcher, McKenzie. And here we go for the first pitch, and that is a strike inside corner. I mean, he needs to rely more on those fastballs, Steele. He gets it on the hands, just enough inside to get the ump in his favor, and that is an 0-1 count. Dustis, the All-Star, spits into the dirt. He's ready for his second pitch. He looks ready to hit this one a mile. And pitch and a swing, and this one is hit far. Oh my! Could this be back to back? The outfielder racing at the track. He stops and he makes the catch. So that one just barely got under it, barely didn't put enough into it, and like that, it is 2 outs for the Phillies. What do you guys think about a swing there?
We were out there in center field showing his range. That was a long way to go behind him, but he had plenty of time when he got to the ball anyway. So good job by Wheeler. A big hit from Willie, but
yeah, that could have been
more on that, and he's gonna have.
If he didn't have a jump like that, that could have been a lot of trouble. That could have very easily been at least a double, but he got a good jump on that. Wheeler just read it well. Doesn't he have a Gold Glove from last year? Or am I mistaken? Maybe I'm crazy. I know like one of his most famous pictures is him crashing into the outfield wall there, so he really knows how to do it when it counts to save those runs. But man, what a phenomenal play there.
Pretty good start for the Phillies. You know, whenever you can get any runs in, you know, that's always a good start. But especially being up against a team that's very good, that's been very good this season, like the Twins, it's definitely a good start for them.
All right, we're waiting for an at-bat from third baseman Miguel Snow, who's known for his, I guess, big moments. I guess we can bring his player card up. Miguel Snow has 2 home runs and 1 double. Those make up his 3 hits for the season and his 3 hits on his career. He's never hit a single. Only those powerful strokes. I mean, Phillies have a potent sort of powerful middle lineup here. It's pretty evident here. I mean, he hit the home run against Washington to break the sort of scoreless streak that became infamous with this Phillies squad. So let's see if he can make it big here too. As a wait for the swing.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Ricky Steele's pitching so far? I mean, he's given up that home run, gotten the 2 outs. Seems to be relying a lot on that slider so far.
Yeah, I don't think he should, and I guess he won't after that home run. It just seems like his fastball, he's able to locate it inside enough to kind of buckle the hitter, and so here that's how it's been, and just he should continue to use that pitch. I feel like it's a good pitch.
I think he has control of it. He really just slipped up on that one pitch to bats, but I think that if you have a strategy coming into the game, you got to stick with it. And I think he's going to continue to throw that slider. If he continues to throw like he did that first at bat, he should keep going at it. Don't let one mistake the whole game.
Exactly. As we still wait for Miguel Snow, he's online, but no bat yet. As we've said before, we've kind of agreed, sort of on the fly, with a 10-minute auto K. So we'll see if he can get himself the at bat before then. As we know, Miguel Snow is known for his Viking horns out of his helmet, which show up in his player portrait, which those Phillies have.
It's definitely a little scary to see a guy up there with just the horns on his helmet. Imagine
him charging at you with like a stolen base. Just
oh my gosh, no.
He needs to like he's sure to have his helmet on while he's base running, just for that.
Yeah, and it's got to be a head first slide, of course.
Yeah, definitely. just the second baseman just goes right into the outfield. He's like, nope, I'm not doing that.
What is that?
If you're trying to break up a double play, then he's got to slide head first. I think he's the only one in the league that suggests for that. But
oh man, no, that's definitely scary. What is he? He's a first baseman. Okay, you have a pretty well known, I don't know. They're characters. Your center or your catchers on the Phillies, I feel like, you know.
We've got a porn mustache Dustis and just the silent killer in bats. So yeah, we got a few.
For sure, yeah. I've always liked bats. I thought he was your. To be honest, I thought that he was your primary catcher. Or
He
like I thought he was just like he got all the playing time. Like the Willie Dustis All-Star game pick came out of nowhere for me, and maybe that's just because the Phillies don't get as much coverage or
well,
aren't talked about as much. But
I can sort of discuss that. I mean, if you look into like a lot of stats, I mean, Willie Dustis, he's hitting 357. He's been hitting pretty solidly for the entire season. He just came off of a 2 home run game, and if you looked at his player WAR on mere stats compared to all the other Phillies batters, I mean, he topped Takegi, and he topped all the offensive Phillies players as the top WAR producer. So I mean, yeah, Willie Dustis definitely, you wouldn't have thought of him as the best guy, but he's just been silently killing it for those Phillies. Let's look real quickly at the time we have left. We are 5 minutes into this at bat. Could mean trouble for the Phillies to give up an auto K so soon. As we've mentioned earlier, we do have reserve players just in case some players are not available for the game, either now or later.
Oh, and this is interesting. The general manager for the Twins, Charlie Scott, he walks up to the top step of the dugout and he tips his cap to Miguel Snow. I guess pointing, giving a little bit of tribute to the fact that he's an ex-Twin, actually batting.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, Miguel Snow started off his career as a Twin. Actually, his first game was against the Phillies in Session 1, Season 1. So yeah, these two have a lot of history together. Miguel Snow was traded, as you may know, in the 6-team trade in Season 1, Session 7, Session 6, where he was given over in just a massive trade that included Daz Reference, who's also in this game today, Miguel Snow, Gil Metz, Victor Justice went to the Blue Jays from the Twins. So yeah, there's a lot of names in that trade, and Miguel Snow was one of them. And I know for a fact that Mike or I guess Charlie Scott and Miguel Snow have a big sort of history together. I mean, nothing but respect between those two gentlemen. We are now 6 minutes into the at-bat, waiting for the pitch or waiting for the swing.
So, Jay, as a GM of one of these teams, how do you think that the time constraints kind of affect the how do I say it? The strategy in terms of scouting, in terms of
in the 10-minute constraint, you mean?
Yeah, well, not even just the 10 minutes. It's a very fast-paced, very fast-paced system. You can't sometimes in a regular game you would kind of see what the pitcher has been pitching. You go and check his last few pitches. Do you think that kind of like changes up the strategy? The fact that all these pitches are coming in so fast and all these swings are coming in very quickly.
Oh, definitely. And I think the most sort of strategically taxing thing about this game is when do you use those reserves? Because there are just sort of finite amounts of reserves here, and therefore, I mean, you don't want to use them too early because what if more guys drop off and then suddenly you're running out of reserve players and you just have to take that auto K. And so you just have to, if you take the auto K early, I mean, would that be better than taking the auto K late? And I mean, I guess I won't refer to myself in the third person, but it seems like I am taking the auto K if it does come. We'll see if it does come. We're running out of minutes here as we hit 8 minutes here, 2 minutes left of the at-bat. So we'll see if Miguel Snow can get in here.
I think regardless, it's been a pretty successful inning. Again, any inning that you can score a run, especially if it's a go-ahead run, is a pretty good one. So,
yeah, definitely. This is not exactly a failed inning, whether or not the auto K does come in. If you're just joining us, it is 1-0 Phillies off of a home run from Casey Batts. It was a long home run. I think StatCast has estimated 420 feet. Blaze it.
Wow, 420. Oh man. One thing that I thought was interesting that we didn't point out is Steele actually came up to the mound right after his at bat.
Exactly. Do you think that had something to do with it, like
It's
his
possible. It's
fatigue?
possible. Any time that and I guess that's one of the reasons why you necessarily don't put a pitcher that high up in the lineup. But yeah, it definitely could have been a factor to giving up that home run to Casey Bats there.
Okay, but it looks like, are we at 10
Oh my,
minutes?
it looks like he's just started throwing without snow in the box.
Keeping
That's
keeping
one
that
strike
arm
down.
warm.
That's one
Uh,
strike down.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna wait and see if Snow makes it back before he's done with his at bat.
oh wow, this is looking to be.
This is unprecedented in fake baseball.
Oh, and it looks like Miguel Snow is playing Mountain Blade Warband during the game. That can only be
Oh.
problematic. Hey, Tom. Tom's not anybody here. That's just a generic announcer name. Hey, Kev, what do you think? Playing. Oh, he's in. He's alive. He's alive. He's alive.
Okay, he's
A
coming.
second strike, it looks like.
A
And
second
it looks like
strike. Do you?
It looks like he's just running in. Is that?
Oh, yeah, he's running up the. Do we have a swing yet? Would this constitute as an auto K?
I guess we're giving him some warm up time because he's here, right?
Yeah, he is here.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna give him a little bit just to get warmed up a little bit. He was playing a game in the dugout. You never like to see that from one of your guys, but at least it's not going to be a strikeout.
He gave me a swing, but I have to tell him to give it to you.
Yeah,
I can actually give you the swing, but you probably I don't know if that's ethical.
just have him post.
I'll give you a screenshot.
Oh no, I got it.
All right, perfect. So we do have a swing, and we will count that, I guess, as an at bat.
Finally gets
Just
in the
barely.
box now. And the count's 1-2, and man, he's finally gotten in the box. Luckily, didn't get a strike on that last pitch.
You want to take
Easily
this one?
could've, but-
You want to take this one, Milo?
if you wish, Jay. But yeah, it's 1-2 right now. Miguel's back in the box. He's looking exhausted from running back up after running from the dugout. It looks like played a video game. I'm not really sure. Yep, it's 1-2. Steele didn't throw any sliders there to try to practice, I guess, but he sets, and here's the delivery. By Snow, hit over to first. Oh, that's fielded easily by Marnette. He's going to take a few steps over to the first, and that's going to retire the side here in Philadelphia. But the Twins don't leave unscathed as it looks like they are down 1-0 after a home run from KC Bats. We're going to head to commercial, but the Phillies lead 1-0.
Welcome back to the game. We're currently 1-0 Phillies in the top of the second as Minnesota comes up. Oliver Yu is back to pitch. And here comes the batter, Remy Darling. So the pitch and a strike down the middle, strike one. Seems like a lot of the Twins hitters are sort of giving that strike to Oliver Yu. Being very patient in their approach, maybe trying to work out a walk in the next 4 pitches. Here's the pitch, and it's spiked up the center and picked by Oliver Yu. He turns and spins to first, and that is an easy first out. It's just a ground ball sort of spiked towards the pitcher mound, and he was able to corral it and easily throw for the first out. So that is the first out of this inning. What do you think about that?
Well, what's crazy to me right now is the strike percentage. He's thrown, I mean, it's only 8 pitches in, but he's only thrown 1 ball. Like, if you're able to get a first strike on everyone, which he has so far, that's a definite way to have success. Continues that, we're going to see a dominant performance from Oliver today.
Yeah, and so far we have Jake Panik waiting for his at-bat. On deck is C.W. Mitzel. A lot of old names on this Twins roster. They're very, I guess, they don't get a lot of credit for their loyalty to their old players. There's a lot of classic Season 1 names on this roster.
But, you know, and it's not just that. They also, you know, they have made moves in the past, particularly with pitchers. I think, you know, a lot of people like to joke about the fact that they hold on to so many pitchers. But yeah, they have made some moves. You know, the Johnny Dickshot, Hopkins, the Hopkins and Dickshot trade. So they also, you know, they're out there, they're making transactions. But yeah, you're right. They also do hold on to and they very much value those old players.
Definitely. I mean, Panik, if you've been around in the league since the beginning, you might know Panik as the first sort of consensus first overall pick in the mock drafts of the first inaugural draft, and it's just he was seen as such a talent with his left-handed power shortstop abilities. I mean, you don't see that every day, and a lot of the projections saw him taken first overall by the Twins, but sure enough, Twinkie Power ended up being the first overall pick, and it was just assumed that Panik would fall to one of the next teams, but he ended up going way longer than that, and he was actually picked in the end of the second round by the Twins. So some good drafting from that team there, as they got what was the, I guess, mock draft first overall and the actual first overall in the same draft. So good drafting from the Twins. Obviously, it didn't really work out as they went 0 for 4, but then they got on a very hot win streak. I think they got 4 in a row, combining the end of Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2. So that team, it took a while to get started, but obviously they got started. They are currently over 500 now, and, you know, just JP Panik or Jake Panik is still sort of trying to pick up the pieces there, but, I mean, he's good defensively.
And Panik hasn't done well offensively as we expected. He's only been 3 for 24 in his career, but I think he can turn it around. I think that Panik has been underperforming, and I think he has a lot of potential in this league. So be ready for him to make a comeback at the end of this session.
And here's the first pitch of the at-bat, and that is another strike, another fastball. This one's a little lower than the last ones, but just like that, it is 0-1 to the hitter. Oliver Yu looking really good so far. He hasn't really relied on his breaking pitches much. As you see, the fastball has been working as he sets and deals. And that's a fastball and a foul ball into the seats, and Panik is in the hole. As we mentioned, he's had some trouble behind the plate when it comes to, or at the plate when it comes to batting. He's trying to change that here. The 0-2 pitch, and that's probably the first breaking ball we've seen, or maybe the second, of Oliver Yu. That one was a curve ball. It curved, but it was just a little too low. It kind of bounced a little bit there, as you saw. Handled pretty well by bats. The 1-2 pitch, and that one is flared, and it will dump into center field. So we got a base runner here for the Twins and JP Panic. He was able to sort of shake off that 0-2 count, draw a ball, and then sort of line drive one up the middle. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, it seems like with Panic being the left power, it seems weird that no one on the Phillies just decided not to shift. I feel like that's an odd thing. If you shift there, you're going to have someone in center field to grab that flare. But that's still good hitting from Panic. Good patience at the plate. He got his pitch and hit it. So
yeah, that Phillies manager, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with him, but that was some bad moves from him. As C.W. Mitchell is going to be the next batter for the Twins, as we wait to see what his result is going to be. After him on deck is Geraldo McKenzie, the batter, the catcher that was mentioned earlier. We'll see how he does. A lot of talk around Geraldo after the departure of Twinkie Power from this team.
a lot of talk from Geraldo about the other team himself. Did he even come up and provide some trash talk as he swung? No, he just went for it. But I'd imagine the bats was kind of chirping with him after the home run right after he was getting chirped at by Geraldo.
Exactly, as we have Geraldo McKenzie stepping up to the plate. We get the pitch, and that is a first swing at a high fastball. Probably not the best offering, but that one's going to be not even make it to the outfield, as it is corralled by the second baseman, and that is out number 2 on a pop-up. Just some impatience here from Geraldo McKenzie.
And I'm just very impressed with Alvarez's strike.
That one was actually Mitchell.
Oh, that was Mitchell. I'm sorry. They look very similar. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, Mitchell, impatient pop up, and Geraldo McKenzie's actually next. I'm sorry for that issue here. But what were you saying, Milo?
Remember at this point, so I'm going to throw it back to you, Jay.
Okay, so we have Geraldo McKenzie now sitting at bat after 2 outs. Yeah, 2 outs, and we have a single, so a man on first. He did not advance because of the pop-up. He had to stay put. So we're waiting on the catcher, who I guess this is in a way a second life for him, given he wrongly identified for the first at-bat. So he gets technically a second at-bat here by name. As on deck is third baseman Angel Leon, who's just one of those many sort of fledgling rookie Twins that we've seen a lot of in the Discord and in a lot of league activity. I mean, they're a good sort of mix, just a good cocktail of just new faces and old faces alike.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity here for the Twins. An opportunity to keep the inning going, to get a tying run in. I think keeping it close is probably important for them in a game like this, where you don't have as much time to plan, as much time to analyze some of the pitches that are coming out, to do scouting. So yeah, I think it's definitely a good opportunity for them, and we'll see how it goes. And
as we talked about Angel Leon, I mean, he just like McKenzie, he's been sort of chewing out the pitcher from the dugout there. He seems pretty ecstatic about this game here, as Geraldo McKenzie steps up. The real Geraldo McKenzie, as Oliver Hughes peers in. And here's the pitch. This one's low. It's a fastball, but it's low. It's a little bit under the knees, and the ump is not having it. That's going to be ball 1. So Oliver Hughes, for the first time tonight, is behind in the count. The pitch. And this one's going to be blooped. Center fielder running, and that one's going to drop as well. So we have runners on the corners as Panic rushes to third on a 2-out hit by Geraldo McKenzie, a single, and just like that, the Twins are threatening to score here in the top of the second. Up next will be Angel Leon, who's talking a lot in the game chat, so we should be seeing him swing pretty quickly, but this is a big opportunity for him. Down by 1, the Twins are going to try to sort of poke any base hit in there and get to Oliver Yu and maybe get that first run.
rally being formed by the Twins right now, and that was a very close swing that last at bat. That almost was a double and could have possibly scored. The first. I can't even remember. I think that was
Panic.
Jake Panic.
Yeah,
Yep.
Panic. Yeah, we got Pete
Close.
Wheeler on deck too, the guy who made the amazing catch to rob Dustis of an extra base hit. But right now, all eyes are pointing to Angel Leon, who we're waiting on.
Wheeler's speed has been vastly under talked about. I mean, he's been incredibly quick on the base paths and in center field, and he has a huge range that has really helped out the Twins this year.
Are you talking about Pete Wheeler?
Out there. No, he's not batting right now, so I apologize for skipping ahead there.
My bad. I'm sorry.
That is on me. Do not worry, Jay.
Angel Leon, we're waiting for the at-bat. We saw him talking there, so I suspected we'd get one pretty quickly, but so far nothing yet. 2 hits for the Minnesota Twins here, both singles, while the Phillies have 1 hit in their bottom half of the first, which was a home run by KC Bats. Phillies still lead 1-0, but Twins are threatening here with a runner on third. The at-bat has run for not too long, a minute now, so he has plenty of time to get one in here. Maybe knock in a run with a single.
Yeah, again, still just a huge opportunity for them. I think it was huge that McKenzie was able to come in there and keep the inning going. Get the runners on the corner with someone in scoring position. At bats are always huge and pretty important. So we'll see if Angel Leon can come in and do it.
Angel Leon is still pondering his hit here, as we wait to see.
Hasn't been doing amazing, over the course of the season. Hitting 200 right now, but this Twins offense has been known to do amazing things. So I definitely would not be surprised if we see a run scored in here.
A lot of sass from the hitter Angel Leon, as he's very impatiently giving us his at bat. He seems pretty miffed that he is getting less time here as he steps up to the plate. Oliver Yu is gonna set and deal. Fastball on the outside corner this time, but it's still gonna be called as a strike one. Angel Leon is not happy with that, but anyhow, the count is 0-1. The pitcher sets, deals. Leon swings at a slider and comes up empty. He was way too late on that one. It was a fast, a zippy slider that came in there at about 90 miles per hour. The pitcher sets and deals. That one's a slider, but it is a little too far outside. The catcher had to quickly run and corral that one. But it is 1-2 the count. Pitch and a fastball inside, and that is going to be it for Angel Leon and it for the Twins for this inning. That is a strikeout and the end of the side. Phillies lead 1-0 here, as we'll come back soon with the bottom of the second.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the game. We're still waiting for the at bat from Ethan Franklin. It's a few batters are not really responding in the most in the quickest of ways, but we're gonna hopefully be able to buff that out as the game continues. We're currently in the bottom of the second, with the Phillies leading 1-0. How about that last inning though? Runners on the corners. I mean, they were really close to scoring.
You know, it's a shame, and it's a little bit interesting looking at looking at how different that the last two innings went for each team. Because for the Phillies, you had the first quick strikeout, and then you have the homer. You know, the very first run scored in the whole game, and then two other quick outs, and that was the Phillies. And then for Minnesota in their last inning, they had some offense going. They got two hits. They had a runner in scoring position. They got some stuff going, but they didn't come out with any run. So
we could have an in-game interview right now. I have Geraldo McKenzie saying that he can do one.
so we have a swing in, and
it looks like Ethan Franklin has stepped up to the plate now.
we can get him on right after this one.
Okay, sounds good. Or at least like in our next sort of long wait. Oh, it's in right now. So it's the last one so far. Okay, so it's that last one. All right, so. Oh no, it's this one. Okay, good. All right, sorry about that. We have a lot of swings sort of meshing together, but Oliver it's Ricky Steele. He gets set and deals to Ethan Franklin for strike one. That is a fastball at the hands. He's really just pounding inside there. This seems to be working well in his favor. Ricky Steele sets, and he deals a two-seamer. That one kind of buckled Ethan Franklin, and that is a strike looking as well. So 2 strikes looking for Ethan Franklin, trying to get the ball in play for the Phillies, trying to add on to their 1-0 lead. As we have the pitch, and this one's fought off into the seats for foul ball. So still 0-2 pitch. Ricky Steele sets. And the swing. This one's hit far, but just by Ethan Franklin's reaction, he just slams the bat into the ground. It's obvious he was angry with himself because that ball is not going to carry very deep, and it's going to be corralled by Pete Wheeler for out number 1. So tough at bat for Ethan Franklin. He got in the hole. He tried to fight it off, but just ended up not working for him.
Steele seems to be getting control of his pitches again, so we'll see if that continues through the rest of this game. But it seems like that was really an anomaly that he gave up a big hit at all.
Exactly.
That fastball. Yeah, go on.
If that's if that's the only mistake he makes this game, then it'll still be a very good game. So I'm not I wouldn't be too worried if I were a Twin right now, but yeah, just unfortunate giving up that home run on the second at bat.
We're waiting on Tommy Brown, who's been around, so it should be okay. We have a few people who can call in, so we'll keep that in our knowledge as the game continues. We have a long game ahead, so plenty of opportunities to sort of hear from your favorite players here in this exhibition game as we wait on Tommy Brown. Currently, Jake Wilson is on deck, the shortstop for the Phillies.
So I see that Tommy Brown is hitting 600 on the season. As the Phillies GM, can you talk about that a little bit? Is that just a low amount of plate appearances, or?
Yeah, I've been trying to bat him a lot as Tommy Brown takes the ball inside. Yeah, it seems like he's just a very in tune hitter. He's very intuitive, and just I see a lot of potential in him. So I've been trying to bat him as much as possible. He has a lot of discipline, as you can see here, as he takes another just fastball a little bit too far inside. It seems like Ricky Steele's just trying to pound a little bit too inside. You might get a hit on him if he keeps, or a hit by pitch on him if he keeps just pitching so far in, but it looks like Tommy Brown isn't very happy with that. He kind of looks at the pitcher with a little bit of a glare. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Ricky Steele sets and deals. That is a curveball in there for strike 1. That is a perfect sort of 12-6 curveball. First one we've seen today, but Ricky Steele obviously has a very good arsenal on his hand. We've seen the two-seamer, we've seen the curveball, we've seen the slider, we've seen the fastball. I think that's what he has in his arsenal as the pitcher sets and deals. This one's a fastball outside, not swung on by Tommy Brown. He's good with keeping still, just watching the ball. He's not the type of hitter to just swing madly, and it's sort of worked out for him so far. The pitcher sets, deals, and he will miss with that fastball low, and that is a walk for Tommy Brown. A one-out walk after Ethan Franklin flew out, and the Phillies have a base runner.
Do you think if you're Ricky Steele here, you gave up a home run last inning, you have a walk here, when do you start getting worried? When do you start worrying about, your control, where you're placing your pitches? When do you start thinking about that if you're Ricky Steele here?
You definitely don't want to get too far. Just have that, like, so many balls so early and just get behind the hitter like that. Just you want to throw strikes. He was throwing strikes earlier, but I think he's just using too much. He's just thinking about it too much. You just got to pound the zone, not think about that 1-0 lead that for the Phillies. Just you have to keep at it and just keep pounding the zone with strikes.
So as a catcher, you got to be, you got to have McKenzie go out there and talk to him if you feel like he's not having his best day. Like if he seems to be struggling, you got to be out there ready to help him right away. He starts to struggle a little more, we might see McKenzie go and talk to him.
As we see Jake Wilson waiting for him to give his swing. After him will be Charlie Bay Jr., who's actually been sort of another rookie highlight on that Phillies team. A lot of rookies on that team, but they've all seemed to be okay there.
Wilson's had a lot of plate appearances, but he's been absolutely well. He takes a strike inside here, but he's had a lot of plate discipline, and he's done very well in the times he has shown up. Very good year. The Phillies really gained a lot of momentum from their newer players, and I think that leading the charge necessarily, but I think Jake Wilson has been a definitely worthwhile addition to this Phillies roster.
It was definitely a Phillies roster devoid of shortstop help. They got Moog Mufesser just as an undrafted free agent after they traded away Ross Fire. It's just they needed a lot of shortstop help, and they finally got it in Moog, but they got more of sort of a reinforcement in Wilson.
And Wilson takes another ball, takes the first ball outside. We had a strike in the middle of there, so it's a 1-2 count now. He's setting up again. Wilson has done fairly well, 400, 2 for 5 in his at-bats, but Steele is set. He's going to deliver that slider, and that's grounded. Oh, that's grounded over to the right side. That's going to be picked up by Darling. Tossed over to Panic and tossed over to first to Marnette. That is going to turn 2, and that is exactly what Steele needed there. We were talking about Steele maybe losing his grip a little bit, but I think he's still got it here. That was a beautiful slider. Get Wilson chasing a little bit, especially with that late count.
And that will be it for the inning after 3 outs have been recorded. So it's on to the top of the third for Minnesota to start batting, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to the Minnesota Twins at the Philadelphia Phillies for an exhibition game. We are currently in the top of the third, as let me quickly update that box score. The top of the third, as we're waiting on a swing from Pete Wheeler, who has not swung yet. But until then, we have some sports score updates with Milo Graham. So you want to take that away?
Updates from around other leagues. The NHL playoffs have started. Bruins won 7-3 over the Maple Leafs today and took 2-0 lead in the series. The Sharks took on the Ducks and beat them 3-2 to take a 2-0 lead. The Penguins beat about the Flyers today 5-1 to take the 2-1 series lead. And the Wild for Minnesota are currently beating the Jets 3-2 about halfway through the second period. The Jets have a 2-0 lead in that series. NBA, we have the 76ers, who the Phillies care about again, beating the Heat 130-103. The Pacers also took on the Cavaliers and beat them. Pelicans beat the Trailblazers in Game 1, and the Celtics defeated the Bucks in overtime in Game 1 in Boston. So that's the updates from around the league, and we'll throw back to you guys.
Yes, it seems like a lot of Phillies teams are doing pretty well this year. The real Phillies are doing pretty well, and the Flyers and the 76ers are both in the playoffs. Let's just hope that the fake Phillies can sort of pick it up and do what they're doing as well. We're still waiting on Pete Wheeler's at-bat or his swing. I think he has 2 minutes left. We do have a swing. Oh, well, perfect. Okay, so we have a swing from Pete Wheeler as Oliver steps back up to the mound, wipes more sweat off his brow. He's been doing pretty well so far, but he just needs to sort of buckle in and keep it going as he fires a pitch, and that is a swung and miss strike. The fastball, he kind of made it climb the ladder, and it was swung on, so that is a quick 0-1 count on Pete Wheeler. Pete Wheeler has been on this team for a while. He was a big season 1 staple as Oliver sets. And he pitches. Oh, that was a slider that didn't really slide, and that one is just belted into the gap. Outfielders are running, but they're not going to get it. It's going to drop and roll all the way to the wall. Pete Wheeler is rounding first. He is not stopping, and he will arrive at second standing. He almost thought of a triple, but just put on the brakes there as the ball is carried back into the infield. So a leadoff double for Pete Wheeler here, and it looks like the Phillies are having a bit of trouble here as Oliver gives up a big knock here.
Continuing to throw strikes, but he just lost a little bit on that pitch, and Wheeler didn't make a mistake on it. He definitely took that for a ride, and that's the leadoff double is huge for the Twins here at the top of the order. It's coming back up.
Yes, Dad's reference is going to be coming back up. He didn't have the best at bat. I think he had a strikeout or something. No, he had a fly out, so he didn't get on base there. But I mean, he's ready. He should be set pretty soon, and it's a big opportunity for the Twins, who are trying to get into this game, trying to tie it back up after that home run from Casey Batts. It's the third hit from the Twins this evening, so we'll see what happens. That is their third hit, yeah. Okay, so let me update that.
Yeah, something the Twins have been doing well so far this game. Even though they're behind, they've been doing a good job of getting people in scoring position, whether it's due to their whether it's due to their what just happened?
What did you get a swing yet?
Milo, we're having technical difficulties with one of our announcers.
Oh no. Oh yeah, you're right. Let me bring it back in. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
I was wondering what you were doing there, but yeah.
Yeah, lost connection there on one of our headsets. That was weird.
Milo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm sorry there. I was refreshing the game thread, and then I moved over and refreshed the score. That was not the way to do things.
That's what you were saying, Kev?
Yeah, no, they've just been doing a good job getting people in scoring position. It's going to pay off for them eventually. It's a long game, 6 innings. So if they are able to continue being successful in getting people on base, I think we'll see that pay off soon.
And let's talk a little bit more about Daz Reference himself, who started his career on the Toronto Blue Jays before being traded in that six-team trade. He's hitting .316 so far for the year with 1 home run and 2 doubles. He's been a pretty good offensive force for sort of a very surprising Twins team that is very. There's a lot of good pieces on that team. A lot of 300 hitters. It just seems like they have a lot of strong suits that sort of make them able to stand up to that tough AL. They're in the AL West, right? Or AL East? They're in the AL West.
AL West for the Twins.
Which is even better for them.
Cool for the Twins, in my opinion, is they have very little contact hitters. They're very stacked with neutral and power hitters. And even with that, they still maintain one of the highest batting averages. I mean, you see the starting lineup. You have 4 different people above 330 or above 300. And I think they've been very successful with the small ball, even though that wasn't their intention originally.
All right, so we've got Daz Reference back up. He's 0 for 1 with a flyout. Oliver Yu. He doesn't seem very phased. He immediately sets and deals, and that is a curveball swung on and missed. Just brilliant. He just dropped the floor out on that one, and it's just quickly 0-1 for him. Daz Reference takes a few practice swings. Yeah, Oliver Yu's been throwing a lot of strikes, but one of them he kind of leaked it out over the plate and did not work well for him. Set, deal, and this one is hit sort of shallow center. The fielder will get there easily for the first out of the inning, and the runner will stay on second after that. So it was a quick first out, as Daz Reference just did not see that ball very well. He did not get under it very well, and it didn't work out for him, but still a runner on second as Jack Marnett comes up to the plate. What do you guys think?
Well, Daz has just been under the ball this game so far. I mean, he's had solid swings, but every time he's trying to hit, he's just swinging a little under it. He's maybe expecting that breaking ball but he's just playing it right. He's just throwing exactly what you don't want him to, right when you want to swing. So I think it's more talking to you than it is, you as in the player.
And I would like to sort of reiterate the 6-team trade that I've mentioned twice today. I mean, there was a lot of players in that. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players in that trade. A lot of them are in the league and healthy today, including names like, as I've said, Daz Reference, Miguel Snow, and guys like former or current Mariners GM Ron Eagle. He was also in that trade, and Gil Metz, Jay Lupp, who is not in the league anymore. Braves kind of made off poorly in that trade, but they did get Trey Rangers, who's been pretty good for them. But yeah, it's a huge trade. It involved the Phillies, the Braves now Expos, the Twins, the Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks, and the Pirates. I think that covers them all.
And what's crazy is how big this trade was, and there's a team that's not even. I guess technically, Atlanta is Oakland, I believe, or is that? I can't even remember. So much expansion that happened in those short amount of times, but look at the list of players in here. I mean, Gil Metz, Ron Eagle, Victor Justice, Daz Ref. You list these players, and they are all active players. This wasn't a trade to, here's some old roster spots. These players were all very active, and they still are.
It's really interesting to see Ron Eagle being in that trade, as well as his current starting, or at least one of his catchers, in Burt Macklin, who's on the Mariners now, who's playing under him, which is that's pretty funny. It shows how kind of old that one is. As
Ron Eagle was when he was traded, that was, he was kind of old when he already started there. As we see Marnett take a ball outside here for 1-0.
Yes, it's 1-0 currently. Oliver Yu kind of seems maybe he has some pressure here as he sets and deals again. And that one's a strike, so the count's even on a fastball. He just drilled the inside corner of the plate, as he has been doing so far. Oliver Yu sets and deals, and that one is down the right field line. That one's a fair ball. It's going to immediately be corralled. The runner's going to stay at third, but now we have runners on the corners on a single here as the Twins are working their magic. Yet another scenario with the runners on the corners. Runner's going to stay there. I know he wanted to go. He was almost waived by the third base coach, but he'll just have to settle for staying in on third base. But yeah, runners on the corners now. This is a very sort of impactful hit for Jack Marquette here. But the problem is now we have Ricky Steele here, which even though he has a history of hitting, he is still a pitcher. He hasn't really... I guess he is more used to pitching now than he is hitting. He wasn't a primary hitter since season 1.
Yeah. It's always a little bit of a risk when you send your pitcher out there. But you said he played center field, didn't he?
For the Pirates, yeah. But it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it might be a little rusty. But
if you don't know,
but what's crazy to me?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Steele batted. He only had 6 at bats that first season, but he was 4 for 6. I mean, that's 4 for 6 with 3 walks. I mean, that's on-base machine. It'd be interesting to see if he gets back into that mojo as he comes back here and becomes a hitter, at least in this game for us.
Well, Ricky Steele is currently batting right now. We're waiting the swing, but currently LRVU brings one inside for strike 1. He just gets the inside corner, so the count is 0-1 so far. After Steele, we have Remy Darling hoping to get an at-bat here and hoping to have the bases clear as he gets his at-bat. He's hoping for that home run from Ricky Steele. Wouldn't that be something? That would really bum out the Citizens Bank Park.
To bring something up here, Jay and Kev, as I've always thought about this, was very awkward, or at least odd. Pitchers don't have any stats that or they don't have any ranges that limit them in their swings. They have they have a range that's smaller. Yet pitchers with that same range,
Sorry, go on.
they've been overall 200 or below. And I wonder if there's something to do with that, or if you know what that could be caused by at all.
Here's another pitch from Oliver Yu, and that one's inside for a ball. He's relying on that fastball. Not a lot of breaking balls from Yu. I mean, don't fix what isn't broken. He's gotten batters out so far with that. He sets, deals, and that one's flown out to right field. The outfielder is going towards it. He will make the catch. Runner tags. And this game is tied 1-1 on a sac fly by the pitcher, Ricky Steele, and that must feel good. He now does not have that pressure of being behind 0-1. What do you think, guys?
I think that's huge for him. I mean, just pitching with a tie game is a lot different than pitching with a deficit. So just having that confidence, especially that he brought his run in, that's got to help him out a lot.
A lot of base runners early in this game. I mean, it's just a lot of pressure being put on Yu, who doesn't seem to be having, I guess, as good of stuff as he had in the first inning and maybe the beginning half of the second inning. As Remy Darling is looking to strike big here. He's new to the Twins team, the Twins organization, but I mean they really think high things of him. So the Twins put on a 1 spot here, and the game is tied currently with a sac fly from the pitcher, Ricky Steele. The Twins are already halfway through their lineup for the second time, while the Phillies are not even done their first time. So obviously there's a lot more base runners here for the Twins. As Oliver Yu pitches fastball a little high, but they'll take it for a strike as the ump pumps his fist. So obviously Oliver Yu is not exactly fazed by this. He's still throwing those hard fastballs in there for strikes. His stuff hasn't really seemed to cool down in the weather so far, so I guess that's good news for Phillies fans, but I mean, the pressure is on. Man on first currently with 2 outs. a single can get him to third, a double can score him. So they need to be very careful about what they do here to Remy Darling. He might be new, but he's not exactly a novice hitter. The Twins know how to raise their hitters. As you hear, maybe from the few Twins fans and the Twins players in the dugout, there's a lot of moo chants here. That's become a staple for Darling, who has a symbol of something of a cow. He's embraced sort of a cow symbol. I don't know the origins of that, but obviously a lot of people are doing that moo chant. They should get him on some milk advertisements.
I mean, there's advertising space here. Not gonna shameless plug, but yeah, I think Twin support has been louder than we expect. You know, I mean, I'm excited that there are so many people out here for this game. That's really a great thing for this sport, and that's a great thing for this game to see so much support from both sides of this at Citizens Bank Park.
Exactly. It seems like a lot of it might be an exhibition game, but there's a lot of people here at this park. It's not a game that's been taken lightly, it seems.
Indeed, and those moves might also be a little bit of the booze coming from the Phillies after giving up their first run, but I guess.
Oh, you cut out there.
We just had another technical difficulty. Maybe
God.
it's the same.
He did it again.
Yeah.
So, okay, Milo.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I have to like put this on a separate thing so I know I won't refresh it over here. There, it's on a separate. We're good. It won't happen again, I promise.
Should we do an interview now with maybe Daz? Let's see if Daz is ready.
We have a swing, so let's just.
Okay, then yeah, maybe next few innings.
Let's check at the beginning there, or at the beginning of the Twins' next batting inning. Don't want to interrupt him while he's live catching. You know.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be a little bit difficult.
So we're waiting as Oliver Yu. Has he thrown a pitch this? I don't think he has yet. Maybe he has.
Yeah, it's a strike.
Okay, so Owen won the count. Owen won the count as. Right now we have Remy Darling up, the young Twins hitter, revered in this organization thus far. Oops, I just realized I don't have the. Let me get that up real quick. Revered in this organization so far. Darling takes another strike, a fastball, and he's quickly in the hole. Oliver, you may go to one of his breaking pitches here, try to fool him. We know he's able to use them when it counts. He hasn't used much yet, but Oliver sets, deals a curveball. He's managed to get hit out by Darling into the outfield. He manages to get a piece of it, but it's not going to do it as the outfielder makes the catch, Tommy Brown. And the inning is over, but the Minnesota Twins do tie it here. It is on an RBI sac fly by Ricky Steele, the pitcher. We go to the bottom of the third, the game tied at 1. Welcome back to Twins versus Phillies here in the bottom of the third. We have Charlie Bay Jr. coming up. I'll update the box score shortly. But currently Charlie Bay Jr. steps up to the plate. Ricky Steele is back out. It's drizzling a little bit here. The rain's starting to kind of come down. The umpires haven't really called it. They don't really seem like they're ready to call it yet. But just as you may know, the pitcher Steele does not look very happy in the cold rain. It's about 40 degrees out there. He must be freezing as he fires strike one. That is a two-seam fastball that kind of buckles Charlie Bay Jr. Charlie Bay Jr. is the second baseman behind Kyle Mack, who is seen as one of the franchise players in that Phillies ball club. Kyle Mack is not playing today, so Charlie Bay Jr. is picking up the slack. He has one homer on his career, so he can definitely provide the pop when it counts. The pitch, and that's a fastball, swung on and missed for strike two. So he's already behind in the count. Bay Jr. steps out a little bit. He's maybe spits into the grass a little bit, trying to keep himself calm and collected. He needs to see the next few pitches, see if he can get a hold of one here. He steps back in. Ricky Steele nods at the catcher, sets, and deals 0-2 pitch, and that one is belted. That one is deep. Mitchell can only watch it. A home run! And just like that, the Phillies are back up 2-1. It is drizzling on the outfield, but it is pouring baseballs into the outfield bleachers. As Charlie Bay circles the bases, 2-1 Phillies. He just got into that one, guys.
Oh my goodness, what a solid shot. And yeah, Steele didn't leave that one hanging. That one dropped as he wanted it to. But man, that just went right into the bat of Charlie Bay Jr. That was crushed to left field. Franklin didn't even give a pity run. Like he just stood and watched that go over his head. Jeez, what a dominant swing.
It might
Holy
be.
Cow.
I feel like, I don't know, that rain might be actually getting to him. I mean, the umps don't think so because they're not calling it right now. I mean, the rain's not too hard, but man, Ricky Steele, just from the beginning of that at bat, he did not seem very comfortable in that rain. And it's just, it just shows here.
Steele looks shaken on the mound right now as he heads back to the top of the hump. And that's another run given up in the bottom of the third here as the Phillies retake the lead 2-1 on two solo homers from Charlie Bay Jr. and KC Bats.
A lot of pop from that Phillies ball club. I mean, they don't score a lot of small ball, but they definitely score a lot of those homers, as it just shows here. Just a quick retake.
First strike here.
Just definitely a quick retake of the lead.
Steele's trying to get back
Sorry, go.
into Steele's trying to get back into his rhythm now, and he looks like a fastball low. He's just trying to get strikes at this point and hit. Yep, it's a strike 0-1. Yu is having a pretty good day on the mound. 1 run through 3 innings, and he takes a ball low in the dirt. Another slider that got away from Steele, and it's 1-1 now. I don't recall. I don't think he has a swing on the year. I don't think he has. But this would be very interesting to see what he does here. It's a 1-1 pitch. Is lined to left. And that is missed by Leon. Oh, that was right by his glove. And that's sent over to left. Reference will run over and grab it. And he cuts that off before it gets to the wall. Yu will round first. A tasteful round of first, but comes back to the bag. And that's a solid single from Yu. And man, Steele is really feeling it now after that home run, giving up a chaser hit to Oliver Yu.
And Leon definitely tried to keep that one in the infield, but it just was not going to work out. He tried to keep that one from getting a hit from getting Oliver Yu a hit, but just it was not meant to be. And just another hit for the Phillies, their first non-home run hit of the night.
Leon laid full out for that. He could not have stretched an inch further. The man just by the tip of his glove. And now the Phillies, for the first time today, have a base runner, though they have the lead 2-1.
It's been a very unorthodox game for the Phillies here, who have just been surviving on the long ball as Zach Anderson comes to the plate. for the second time today. Just not a lot of plate appearances thus far for them. It's been a very Twins-heavy game when it comes to game time at the plate. As we wait for Zach Anderson. After him, it will be Casey Batts up again. As you know, he hit his own home run. But yes, definitely, Charlie Bay Jr., we were just talking about him. He has had one home run in the regular season. I bet he wishes that this one counted.
Absolutely. This is a pretty crazy performance from the Phillies, because the Phillies this year so far have only hit 7 home runs in 9 sessions, and they were able to put 2 up now in the first 3 innings of this game. That's a remarkable thing, and something that the Phillies aren't used to.
All right, currently Geraldo McKenzie is going out to the mound to talk to Ricky Steele as Zach Anderson gives some practice swings. So obviously, very shaken pitcher that's having to be consoled right here. As we have a 2-1 game, Phillies over Twins.
This rain might be getting to Steele at this point. I'm not too concerned with Steele. I know he's mentally tough, but man, this rain is getting to him, and the Phillies are getting to him now too.
Definitely a good time for the Phillies to capitalize here, as the umps obviously don't really see this as being a game-breaking sort of drizzle here. So the game will continue as Zach Anderson steps up for his second at-bat of the day. The young outfielder. He sits on a fastball low. That's a ball. So Ricky Steele, that one kind of looked like it had some break on it, but just not enough, I guess. And it still looked like a fastball, just below the knees, and that will be a 1-0 count. Ricky Steele sets, deals, and that's a fastball, and that one's hit into the outfield. It will drop in front of Pete Wheeler, as now the Phillies are looking at 2 on base with no outs. This is looking pretty disastrous for Ricky Steele. Men on first and second.
Yeah, that cigarette offered by McKenzie might not have been the best idea, because he's getting lit up right now, if I'd say so myself there, Jay.
Lit up like that cigarette. I get what you're saying. Yeah, but Zach Anderson, he's another young bat for the Phillies that has been really working well in this club so far. Just a lot of good free agent signings recently that have really paid off for that team, as well as for the Twins too with Darling. But just it's looking like a tough inning for Ricky Steele, who still has yet to get a batter out in this drizzle. Casey Batts is coming up too.
With the home run already today, Casey Batts he's going to look to find something, because it looks like Steele's starting to slip a little bit. Let's see what happens here.
Still waiting on that swing.
Yeah, this is definitely a little scary for the Twins. Any time that you give up a leadoff home run, you're not gonna have a good. So, after that leadoff home run, 2 quick singles. It would be a double play here would be huge. But even then with that double play, you would still probably have that man on third. So yeah, it's definitely a tough one to get out of here. We actually have a swing in.
Oh, perfect. As Ricky Steele fires one in for a strike.
At least getting a strike by these Phillies hitters without actually having it be hit. That's the key. You just got to go 1 strike at a time when it starts to really fall apart for you there. An 0-1 count here to Casey Batts. And we have the delivery from Steele. He's going to throw a high fastball that Casey gets under, and he's popping that straight up to second base. Again, on his debut, will easily retire that, and he will toss it back to Steele as we have 2 outs here now in the third. And the Phillies have an opportunity here, 2 men on, but 2 outs now.
Yeah,
Casey Batts pops up for a second.
It seemed like Casey Batts just was too aggressive there. He just really wanted to replicate that home run swing, and it just didn't work out for him. That was a quick at bat, probably not the at bat that the Phillies wanted to see.
We're still at. That's 1 out, by the way.
Yes, so still 1 out here.
Apologies to those listening at home. Yes, that's the first out of the inning. But again, that's very important to. I mean, when you've given up 3 hits to start an inning, it's important just to get that first out.
And it seems
Or do that
like,
so far.
looking into the dugout, it seems like Casey Batts is taking dinner orders. He might be going to the local McDonald's, so let's hope that doesn't interfere with his next at bat. We'll see if he comes back in time. If not, we might have to go to a reserve player there. But yeah, it looks like he's going from player to player, getting what they want, maybe a Big Mac or something. Definitely weird to see in the dugout, but I guess the Phillies are loose like that.
MLR is quite a weird sport, so I've seen far worse things and stranger things happen in this game. So
Still waiting on Willie Dustis now, the all-star catcher for the Phillies. Has he been pinged yet?
not sure. Let me check.
Yes, Willie Dustis is up. Yep, he's been pinged.
Hi, Stride. How you doing? Do we want to bring on a interview now? Maybe have.
Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, we might need to wait a little bit. So I guess I'll see if they want to come in. I guess I can bring in Geraldo McKenzie. That might be good because he was the catcher during that time. So he'll be able to. Yeah, well, he'll be able to. I guess while we're waiting for Willie Dustis, so we'll give him the phone. Because there was that
Absolutely.
in real baseball, I remember Logan Morrison taking interviews while, playing first. So that's always fun.
This is real to me, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that in preseason this year.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So, I mean, it's a very loose game here for an exhibition game. But right now, we're gonna go onto the field with Geraldo McKenzie, who's currently on the field right now. So, how's it on the field there, and what about that home run?
It's cold. It's wet.
Can you turn off your stream because I can hear myself?
Yeah. I just turned it off. It's cold. It's wet. The home run was long. At this point, I've stopped trash talking. I'm asking that they just stop hurting us before they take a lead. Well, before they take a bigger lead, I should say.
I mean, the pop out was a pretty good start. I mean, it didn't advance any runners, so.
Yeah, and honestly, we're just waiting for me to get back up to the plate. I've been carrying this team since week 1, even though I've only played in like 4 games. Like I said,
in that talk that you had with a few of the Phillies players, what was really exchanged here as we saw us take strike 1 here, as he now enters the box?
Nothing was exchanged. Basically, just me flexing and these wimps, just kind of backing down.
So we have the instead of hurling the trash talk at the opposite team as another strike is taken, you're hurling it at your own team.
At this point, yeah. At this point, I'm the alpha male. Twinkie's gone. I can stop pretending that I'm not the best player in this team.
All right. Sorry, I was gonna talk about how seems like Ricky Steele is ready to pitch again, and currently the count is 0-2 as the pitcher sets and deals, and that one is drilled out to center. That one's going farther than I thought it would, but Pete Wheeler will stop and take that one in. Or I'm sorry, is he? No, yeah, Pete Wheeler. I'm sorry. So Pete Wheeler will take that one in. I still need to learn the players' names apparently, but so that one will be a fly out, and the runners will stay put here. Men on first and second. So that one must be good, Geraldo.
From catcher to catcher there, Geraldo, nice. That was a nice call for that low slider and kind of force him to golf one up to center. So good call there, bud. That's how to do it.
Hey, I frame pitches. That's what I do.
Mackenzie, you mentioned it, but can you talk a little bit more about Twinkie Power and the recent news that has come out about him?
Yeah, in all seriousness, Twinkie was a great guy. He mentored me early on. He was there when I got my first hit, when I got my first home run. We're gonna miss him a lot, but I'm gonna do my best to fill his shoes, and it's gonna be difficult.
We have Miguel Snow up currently waiting for the swing there. He's still seen as a powerful threat here for the Phillies in the Phillies middle lineup, batting cleanup here. So this could mean trouble for the Twins, or this could be good for the Twins because he also has a sort of a tendency to get on long streaks of hitlessness. As we're still waiting on this swing, Ricky Steele will fire a ball low to Miguel Snow.
Mackenzie, can you talk about the the season so far in general for the Twins? How it's going, how you expect it to go for the rest of the season? Your recent loss to the Houston Astros, anything like that.
Yeah, it was a good start. It's been a rough 2-game stretch, obviously. Big part of that was me not being around for the last game. I had a home run in the session before it, and now that I'm going to be getting regular starts, we're going to start scoring a lot more runs, doing a lot more trash talk.
Okay. We're still waiting on Miguel Snow here. The count is currently 1 ball and no strikes. The Phillies currently lead 2-1 with 2 outs now.
That's a big situation for Ricky Steele here and for Geraldo. I don't know what would you call for this pitch? Not numbers wise, but you calling a fastball low, or are you going to try to call something to get in here?
I'm calling a fastball low. Stone's been throwing a lot of fastballs. I let him do what he wants. I just kind of put my hand out there.
Okay, so.
All right. Well.
So it seems like the count is going to be even as a strike is fired on the outside corner. All right, and it seems actually, it seems like Miguel Snow he might be feeling under the weather here because it seems like he's gonna walk back to the dugout and he might not be able to finish his at bat. As we see a reserve player by the name of Joe Runzer walk in. He will be taking over his at-bat, an emergency player. Obviously, it looks like Miguel Snow might be under the weather because of the rain, but now it will be Joe Runzer taking over the at-bat with how many minutes left?
We have about 7 minutes left.
All right, so 6-7 minutes. So there's plenty of time, but it looks like, sadly we had to go to a reserve player, but right now we're going to see Joe Runzer, who actually is... his day job is as a hitter for the for the Indians. Let's hope not the Twins, or that'll be really awkward. So currently, in Indians, do you guys know anything about Joe Runzer?
I don't know a thing about him.
Yeah, he seems like a very new.
Yeah.
Seems like a very new hitter.
We didn't do scouting for this game, for the exhibition, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. It's just a chill game.
Yeah.
You send in your swings, you see what happens.
Exactly. I'm meme swinging, which I never do.
No, Runzer, I don't see him on the lineup. He's coming in as an
emergency.
That makes sense.
So he's a first baseman? He's just going to play first base?
He's going to play the same position.
Cool.
We have, I think, 4 minutes now passed. How many minutes? Yeah, 4 minutes now passed in the inning so far. 2 outs for the Phillies. As we're still waiting on that reserve hitter to send in his at bat. And here it is. It's in.
There's a little. Sorry, the swing is in.
Yeah, the swing is in.
Okay. Oh, he just swung on that one. Okay. Give me 1 second.
So maybe I'll quickly change the at bat to Joe Runzer right here. As I guess Milo is gonna take this one.
Yep. We had a, I believe, 1-1 count here, unless I miscounted. Oh, we had a 1-2 count because Miguel Sano was on the ropes there. Runzer is going to take a ball outside, so that's going to be 2-2 now. Now Runzer coming in for emergency. This is a big moment for him. If he is on base here, if he can get a hit here for the Phillies, that'd be a big thing. On the crack of the bat, he sends it over to left field. It looks like you was gonna try to round third and come for home. Reference scoops it up and tries to throw it home, and it's not going to be in time as Anderson moves over to third. And now we have first and third for the Phillies on a single from Joe Runzer. What a swing! And man, that was a great slider again from Steele, and he's trying to go back to that slider, but it keeps getting hit by the Phillies. That's the first Phillies run not brought in by a solo homer, as the Phillies extend their lead to 3-1 here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, definitely. We had an emergency player come in and really make it happen. It reminds me of a lot of just those pinch hit dream scenarios that a lot of ball players hope to get in their careers. Just getting in there in just a run scoring opportunity and making it happen. I mean, he did perfectly there. He just saw the ball immediately and was able to make it happen.
Absolutely, and yeah, the Steele is just looking at the rubber from the top of the rubber. Man, he is. That is disappointing. Mackenzie, are you still on the line, Mackenzie? I can't remember if we're.
Yeah, I'm still here, but listen, I gotta go force this guy to smoke some cigarettes. If he's not gonna do it willingly, something's gotta change. So I'm gonna go shove some tobacco down his throat. But thanks for having me on, guys, and I'm gonna go kick some butt.
Yeah, no problem. Have fun.
Mackenzie.
Ethan Franklin's now at the plate right now, hoping to get more runs in for the Phillies. I mean, it seems like a very well. It looks like Miguel Sano did come back, but not in good enough time. So now we just wait for Ethan Franklin. Seems like the crux of the Phillies lineup. They don't really seem to have the best response time, but I mean, Runzer was able to come in and make it happen, and I mean, I suspect Geraldo was pretty irritated there. He did not want that to happen.
Absolutely, yeah, that was not. I mean, he told us what he called for, but he didn't even call for that. He called for a high slider to end that at bat to try to get him swinging up. I'm not sure, but that was not the right call on that pitch. So,
I mean,
I don't know
pitcher.
If that's Geraldo or if that's.
It's a young pitcher. He's just really trying to. I guess he needs to handle his nerves better because he obviously seems a little rattled there. Rain's continuing to fall here at the ballpark.
Indeed.
The umps are destined to make this one go as long as possible as Ethan Franklin is at the plate. He takes a few practice swings and he's ready to roll. Ricky Steele, he seems a little calmer after a few more cigarettes were shoved in his face. He sets and deals. That one's low, and that's a ball and no strikes to the hitter. Ethan Franklin steps out a little bit more, gives a big hack to nothing. He's ready to hit one big, I bet. He comes back in. Ricky Steele sets and deals. That one's knocked over to shortstop. They will take it all the way to first as Ethan Franklin is not running it out all the way, and that will be it. But the Phillies do strike again. They had 2 more on 4 hits. And now we're about halfway through the game. We're exactly halfway through the game as we go on to the top of the 4th. The Phillies 3, the Twins nothing. Phillies 3, Twins 1. Welcome back to the game. We're now at the top of the fourth with Phillies leading 3-1, and I'm sorry, it's 1 against the Twins.
Yep. We got Panic stepping up here. And Panic already with a single on the day. Single his first at bat, worked it on the 1-2 count and got the first hit of the day for the Twins. Didn't lead to a run at the time, but the Twins have started coming back and they've started getting their offense going. So see what he can get here as he takes a ball in the dirt from you. A remarkable job today with throwing strikes still. I mean, we've been talking about it already, but he's thrown 31 pitches, and 6 of them are balls. He's gotten the swing at whatever he's throwing, and when they're not swinging, they're watching pitches go in the strike zone. So a remarkable job so far from you.
Though with being so daring, it does come with the risk of giving up a lot of hits. And early in the innings, I mean, earlier I think Steele looked a little better than you when it comes to just getting batters out. I mean, for a while there, the Phillies had only 1 hit in about 2 innings, 2.1 innings, but no, just 2 innings. But yeah, definitely Oliver Yu is being more daring here, but it definitely has cost him a few hits here. I mean, it hasn't shown up yet, but I mean, the Phillies would hope that it doesn't show up in any more of the innings in the future.
Absolutely. As Panic takes another ball low, it's 2-0. I think both pitchers have really attacked the strike zone in this game, which is very good for want people to swing in the bat as he takes a big swing here but misses, and that's 2-1. You really want people in these scrimmages to be taking swings. You want to give your fielders practice. You want to give everyone just a chance to get a feel for the game again, though it is cold, not really baseball season. Another strike here from
Oliver Yu.
That's you. I guess that's an important distinction. Yeah, 2-2 count now. As Yu has thrown a couple now in the zone. Delivery, and that's a slider low. Oh, you got him on that one. That was he watched that go and then chased it into the dirt. That's not even a pitch you should swing at. But that's a pitch.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Throw.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, JP Panic has had a lot of trouble when it comes to hitting. I mean, not a lot of strikeouts. 2 strikeouts in about 10 at bats. But yeah, definitely, he should not have swung at that one. I mean, it's just been a testament to how he's just not been seeing the ball recently. I mean, he got that single for his first at bat, but just didn't work out here for him. He just guessed on that pitch completely. He just wasn't seeing it at all, and that's the problem with Panic. He just needs to breathe and just keep an eye on that ball, and it just didn't show up there. You just got him easily. CW Mitchell will be next.
Panic steps back and gives Mitchell a few words of encouragement as he steps up to the plate here with 1 out in the 4th.
Yes, definitely. And on deck is, of course, Geraldo McKenzie, who we had on the show earlier. The Twins are definitely trying to get those 2 runs back. I mean, it's not an insurmountable lead. We've seen it happen before. I mean, if we look back at Texas versus Boston in last session, I mean, bottom of the 9th, Texas was able to get back 2 runs easily. They would have, if it was this game, they would have tied it up easily. So, I mean, 2 runs is not hard to get in any point. No matter how pressured your team may be, you still could get 2 runs easily. So Oliver Yu he better not get comfortable here. He best just keep pounding the strike zone as he has. I mean, he got behind in the count there, and he was just able to quickly work it back up. That was a very, very good at bat, a very good turnaround for Oliver Yu.
Exactly, yeah, and we see Yu throwing to Mitchell here. Mitchell is just stepping into the box. It looked like he was talking to the third base coach there.
And definitely, and Mitchell comes up, and Oliver Yu is going to throw his first pitch, which is it looked like a 2-seamer. It was a very off-speed fastball, but it didn't really have a lot of movement, and that will be a ball to CW Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell, he popped out his last at-bat on the first pitch he saw, or the second pitch he saw. It was a very, very quick at-bat, so Mitchell definitely is going to watch that one go by. He's not going to let that one get popped back up into the infield. Oliver Yu sets and deals. Oh, that one is crushed. That one is deep. That one's already gone. No doubt about it. C.W. Mitchell hits that one deep into the left field bleachers. And just like that, it's a 1-run ball game again. Just absolutely demolishes that ball. It was a fastball, just straight over the plate. Oliver Yu just did not get enough velocity on that one, and just poor pitching decision from the Phillies pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of success just throwing those fastballs, but I don't know what that first pitch was. Just kind of rose in the zone and wasn't very fast, and he decided to go for it again. That obviously was a mistake, as Mitchell takes that one for a ride. So with the pop-up first at bat and this home run now, that's a big moment for the Twins. They're coming back now. It's 2-3 for Minnesota, and they're gonna be feeling it now. You can see McKenzie pretty stoked for his teammate.
Yeah, he just gives him a big high five. He seems to be shouting just like, yeah, just over and over again. He's very excited. That guy is a man with a lot of confidence, and just getting that guy up to the plate with just such a good opportunity like that, this is going to be dangerous for you. He has to be careful.
Now we have Geraldo McKenzie, who is with us not with us in the booth, but he was mic'd in from our whatever it is. I can't think of the
from
word.
The field.
Keep going from the field. That's where it is. As he mic'd in last inning, we're going to see if he is capable of putting another hit on the board. Already 1 for 1 on the day. McKenzie with the other single right behind Panic the first time through the lineup. Let's see what he could do here. I'm not sure if he's as confident as the rest of his team is getting.
Yeah, but looking at a replay of that home run that just happened, just a very short swing, just a very compact. He just went through the ball. He didn't, like a lot of these hitters will just try to extend themselves and just like launch a meteor into space. This guy, he just short swing. He just put as much power as he needed to get into the ball without just going overboard and maybe turning it foul. It was just a perfect demonstration of swinging. It was a completely different hitter than his first at-bat when he popped up.
Absolutely. And now McKenzie takes a strike inside. He does not look happy about that one. Turns back to Kev behind the plate and lets him know.
Doesn't want to get ejected here.
That's not something you want. McKenzie with his big mouth, that could be an issue with him, but we know he's a good kid, and we've seen that as he interviewed last inning too. 0-1 the count, and goodness, he tried to fake a bunt there. It looked like he laid down the bunt, but then just pulled it back at the last minute. But it's still a called strike, and that's going to be 0-2 now, as McKenzie readies himself again. He still looks upset about that first pitch strike. But it's 0-2, and he's at the pitch in the way it looks like Yu has regained his confidence. It seems he threw that two-seamer again, as McKenzie dribbles it back over to the right, picked up again, who will toss over to Marnette at first, and that is the second out of the inning now.
Marnette, it's Ethan Franklin at first. Sorry.
Oh, Ethan Franklin's at first. I'm looking at the wrong side.
Twins are batting.
Yep.
But yeah, still
I do
good.
Thing too.
Yeah, I do that.
Junior over to Runzer.
No, Ethan Franklin's playing left field.
Is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's playing left field. I don't know if you can see him from up here.
Oh, it's Joe Runzer.
He's playing left field. It's Joe Runzer out there. Yeah.
It's the rain. It's all over a lot of the cameras.
The ultra shift was really on there as Ethan Franklin came over and grabbed that one at first.
That's some sabermetrics managing from me.
In the first baseman in first base position, but also starting the left fielder on first base himself was kind of crazy, but it worked in this case. So that's 2 down here as we Angel Leon to step up to the plate.
I mean, Angel Leon, he seemed very, very impatient in his first at-bat. I mean, he's seen Oliver Yu now, so he might get a better idea of what he's going to throw, but obviously, I mean, he struck out his first at-bat. He just definitely needs to take more pitches here and see what happens. I mean, he needs to get Pete Wheeler up there, because Pete Wheeler can do some damage. He's shown time and time again. He had that hit in his last time up. So obviously, Angel Leon wants to get on here to maybe get more base runners and maybe tie this game. Well, to be honest, he probably wants this game he wants the Twins to get the lead here after a few hits, but tying is first, lead second, so definitely the Twins have a lot more of a chance here as we wait on his bat. He's a very sort of calculated hitter though. He takes his time, even if it results in a few pitches seen. He takes his time between each pitch. That's a very good quality in a lot of these hitters.
Absolutely, and it looks like we can't find Leon right now. Is he wasn't taking practice swings while McKenzie was up? Is he still in the dugout? That seems to happen in abnormally this game that we haven't really seen so far this year.
You know, I think he saw C.J. Mitchell's home run. He just ran into the dugout, and we haven't seen him since. He just hands up, yelling, screaming some profanity, some obscenities, and he just ran into the dugout, into the darkness. So I guess his team's going to try to find him here, but he better come out soon, or he might be awarded in quotation marks a strikeout.
Indeed, we got Leon at the plate. Going to just go without him. It looks like Kevin Mariana is at the plate. He's looking ready to get on.
He's looking ready to receive these swings.
He points out to you. I think he's going to allow you to start pitching here.
Exactly here.
No, Leon has got one strike, but he's running out of the dugout now. It looks like his team found him now. So Leon sprints out of the dugout, and oh gosh, they put the gum on the cup on the head, cup on his helmet right now, and he has no idea. But he watches the next pitch go by. That's 1-1 now. Jay, you mentioned the out his first at bat.
Yes, exactly. He wants to definitely take more pitches here. So he takes, as all of you sets, he takes another fastball. This one's inside, so it's 2-0? Yeah, 2-0. So obviously he's ahead here in this sort of battle with the pitcher. He really wants to get the win here after a tough first at-bat. All of you sets and deals. This is a high fastball, and it'll be popped. Well, not pop. This one's going to have a little bit of a distance, but it looks like it might be corralled by the second baseman, who runs out into the outfield. He calls everyone off, and that will be it. It's not a pop-up, but it's technically a fly-out, but it's hardly that. So it'll be 3 outs here as the Twins score 1 run, and the Phillies still lead, albeit by a 1-run lead. The score is 3-2 now, as we'll be back.
You could just start like striking.
All right, welcome back to Minnesota at Philadelphia. A 3-2 lead currently for the Phillies. We're gonna go back and kind of recap the game here. In the bottom of the first, Casey Batts opened up scoring with a big mammoth solo home run. It quickly put the Phillies up 1-0, but the Twins would fight back in the top of the third with a sac fly from Ricky Steele, which would tie up the game. Charlie Bay Jr. would hit a solo home run immediately when the bottom of the inning began to bring the Phillies back on top to the one, but once again, the Twins would respond with a homer of their own. C.W. Mitchell would take the ball deep to make it 3-2. So still the Phillies are in the lead, but it's less of a lead here as we're waiting on Tommy Brown, who's about to run out and get his auto K. I mean, some hitters seem to be a little bit distant here, but overall this is a very fast-paced game. I mean, normally these games take two weeks, and we're getting 4 innings in less than 3 hours. Okay, so yeah, it seems like we're about 1 minute away from Tommy Brown being auto-K'd. I mean, Miguel Snow came in at the last second, so what do you know?
That's the first strike for Tommy Brown. It looks like Ariana has just pointed to and told him to start throwing. So he's just throwing nice and easy over the plate to get some strikes. So it's 0-1 now for Tommy Brown.
Hit 10 minutes right now, so that's another strike easily. Just not even a fastball. You could call that an ephus, and that's 0-2. And
Philadelphia's frantically searching the dugout for him, but they can't find him, it looks like.
The crowd's shouting Zach, or, well, they wouldn't be doing that. They're shouting Tommy, Tommy over and over again. Just, it doesn't seem to be working as strike 3 is called. A quick and easy strikeout for Ricky Steele. He might have needed that one as the Phillies have their first out this early into the game. Up next would be Jake Wilson, the shortstop, who's playing shortstop right now. He was originally scheduled to play second base, but it was decided that Charlie Bay would come in and play the position instead. So Jake Wilson is up to bat right now, and we'll be waiting for his swing, hopefully.
Yep, the pitch is in. We're just waiting on Jake Wilson's swing.
All right, we'll give him a few things.
Wilson, the first time up to bat, threw 4 pitches. Well, took 4 pitches. Last one on the 1 and 2, and he's just really looking for something to get himself going here. He's had a decent start to his MLR career.
Definitely,
these stats don't count, but I think Wilson's already been 2 for 5. I think so far. Is that correct, Jay? I think so.
Yeah, he's had a few good hits, and it seems like he's ready to bat. He gave as the Phillies manager, I can tell you, he gave the 1 second sign, so he should be coming up soon and giving a hit or a swing here. So we should be able to see what the result of that is soon. But yeah, definitely, Jake Wilson's one of many Phillies rookies to have really sort of stepped up and delivered a lot of good hits early on in their careers.
As we see him step up to the plate here, that looks like he's going to take ball 1. Surprising from Steele or Oliver Yu at this point to throw a ball here, but ball 1 to Wilson, a 1-0. Jake Wilson, how did you decide to pick him up, Jay? Like, what really led to that decision to Jake Wilson for your team?
Well, Milo, a good thing about a big thing about GMing is that you need to sort of see who's been overlooked. I mean, players who are overlooked are often the most hungry. I mean, look at real baseball's Jose Altuve. I mean, he was almost entirely overlooked just because of his height, and he ended up being one of the best players in the game. And I mean, Jake Wilson.
As Wilson takes a strike here. Sorry, continue.
I see Wilson as I saw him as having a lot of potential that had been just completely ignored. I saw him as the little white named guy in the main Discord, and I was like, I need to give this guy a message to see what he's if if he's gotten anybody to bite at him, and he was eager to sign with us. So definitely, I felt really confident about this guy. I really wanted to get a lot of guys like him to rebuild our franchise. Bay was the same way, and it's worked out in dividends as another strike is taken by Wilson.
Strike 1-2 now is the count, and Steele has stayed in the game, which is kind of remarkable to me, as he looked to struggle through those first innings. He's getting back into it as he got the first strikeout automatically. And now on the 1-2, there's a low slider that Jake Wilson, oh, he's upset that he swung at that one. That's another strikeout for Ricky Steele here. In the bottom of the fourth. Now that is 2 outs for the Phillies.
Well, yeah, that's definitely not what he wanted to see, and that's not what the Phillies dugout wanted to see. I mean, he usually shows a pretty good hitter's eye, but right there, I guess he was a little too excited about just primetime lights being on him, and maybe he just was too eager at that breaking ball. But yeah, definitely not good for the Phillies, who now have 2 outs quickly on 2 strikeouts. Ricky Steele is, even though one of them was kind of a gimme, he's really racking up them strikeouts. I mean, a strikeout is a strikeout, obviously. As Charlie Bay Jr. is stepping up to the plate, he hit a home run his last at-bat. Looking to strike big again. As we're waiting on the at-bat to start.
And Bay Jr., I mean, earlier, if we take you back into the third inning, he really set up that rally as he walked up and literally right when he started first count, he just demolished that ball to deep center, and really started the rally for the Phillies, because right after that, the Phillies rattled off 3 hits in the next 5 batters.
Definitely, especially with Oliver Yu hitting a single. I mean, you don't expect the hitter to come up and hit big, but I guess he was energized by that home run, and he just started even more hits for the Phillies.
Now let's see if Steele can get to him this time, because only batter, aside from Oliver Yu, that hasn't been retired yet today. He's the only batter that hasn't been retired by Steele yet in this game, as he takes strike 1 here. Their low slider, but that one caught the top of the zone, and Ariana gave him that, I'd say, a little bit of a gift there on that first strike. So that's 0-1 now. And we have it again, and it looks like Steele's really got a rhythm as he throws again. It throws a high fastball. Oh, that looked like it was going to be taken by Bay Jr., but he just could not catch up to it. He swung way underneath that one. And that is 0-2 now. Delivery and a bit outside. 1-2 is the count. Really, really trying to work this count. First time up, he was not very aggressive until he took that pitch for a ride. And now on the 1-2 delivery, that's called looking. Bay Jr., that was a very good pitch. I don't blame him for not swinging on that one. That's going to be strike 3. Deal here. Now, all of a sudden, the strike's out the side, and it looks like he's regained a lot of his confidence as the rain continues to fall here in Philadelphia, with the Phillies holding on to a very small 3-2 lead over the Twins.
The rain is pouring here. It seems like the umps are going to, after this inning, call the game. So right now there's going to be a 5-inning game, and so it looks like the Minnesota Twins are going to be down to their last 3 outs going into here. They have 1 run to make up, and if that run is made up or more runs are made up, the Phillies are going to bat in the bottom of the 5th, but for now, it looks like the top of the 5th is going to be the last chance for the Minnesota Twins as they get Pete Wheeler up to the plate. Talk about Pete Wheeler for a little bit. Do you think he's going to be able to start a rally here?
Well, Wheeler, the first time at bat, got that double on the 0-1 count from you, and I don't know. I think he's very good. I think if the Twins want to start something, they're going to have to depend on Wheeler getting on base here. I think Wheeler has a very good shot at getting this deep into the outfield.
Yeah, definitely. And you can hear just the discontent from the crowd, the boos, the "I saved all my money up for this game," like all the shouts, and it seems like the crowd is not happy. They seem to be ready to brave out the downpour that's kind of started here, but it seems like it's going to be going on for a few hours here, the rain, and I know the players do not want to play in such conditions. I mean, what do you know what that does to a person's breaking pitches? I mean, it just seems to it'll make them slip the ball slip out of their hands, and they cannot do that for multiple innings here. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that the pitchers would have a hard time here?
I think so. I am kind of glad they took all the batteries from the fans they walked in today, because I'd be a little worried if I was one of the umps out on the field and had to tell everyone the game was called early a little bit. It seems like the Philly fans are a little more upset than the Minnesota fans of this game right now. But we'll see as this progresses, as there still could be a bottom of the 5th if that occurs. And it looks like there's a dealer for the start this at bat of what looks to be the final inning.
Yeah, definitely. This will not help getting 4 minutes on the at bat with no swing. Pete Wheeler seems to be nowhere to be found right now, and hopefully he can get back in the next 6 minutes, or this will not be a good start to what could be a rally for the Minnesota Twins. I mean, Oliver Yu is standing out there. The rain's dripping off his cap. He seems pretty poised, nevertheless, despite the wet conditions. He seems ready to pitch. He might be okay for pitching the 6th for all we know. Yeah, but still a lot of crowd unrest here. Some people are being taken out by the security. This guy looks like Pat Sajak is being wrestled to the ground and taken out by 3 security guards as he kicks and screams.
His jersey's on. I don't think he's even at the right game. How did he end up in Philadelphia, man? Toronto's not that far away. I feel like you could get a...
Wait a second. Is that Toronto shortstop Lane Drew? Is he at this game right now throwing a fit? This is not going to be good for his. I
can't tell you. He looks a lot like him, to be fair. But yeah, if this isn't Lane Drew, then it's going to be a big storm on social media for this new Lane Drew lookalike throwing pens onto the field.
Definitely Lane Drew. I mean, he's a respected, nice, good boy in the MLR sphere. So it'd be very shocking if we saw him in a drunken rage, which I think he's had a few beers because he definitely looks intoxicated. Oliver Yu is not paying him any heed, though. He's just focusing on throwing his warm-up pitches and seeing if he can get Pete Wheeler out here. I mean, Pete Wheeler might strike out here. This is not looking good for him as he's past the 6-minute threshold right now.
And I think this is going to be Kevin allowing the at-bat to actually start here now. We're not sure. He's still waiting for a while. I think that's a strike now.
Oh, and we have a pinch hitter apparently. No word on who it is yet, but we do have a pinch hitter scheduled to replace him for the final 4 minutes. We'll get that pinch hitter to you when it comes to us, when the update comes. But for now, I mean, it looks like Wheeler is not going to finish out this at-bat, but there's not a lot of time left, so the GM needs to get this pinch hitter up and ready to swing here.
Scott is racing through his roster right now, and he's trying to find someone to take Wheeler's spot.
Someone in that dugout.
He's trying to find who else is in the dugout. Most of the people have left because of how wet it is in the dugout right now.
Definitely, there's a small river forming down the dugout stairs. So yeah, definitely, there's not a lot of people out there, but that manager Charlie Scott needs to run into the dugout or run into the clubhouse and see who he can pull out, or maybe into the stands and see who he can pull out. He has about 3 minutes, maybe even 2 minutes left. Yeah, 2 minutes left here, so 2 minutes to swing, and it could mean a very devastating strikeout for this Twins ball club, who's just trying to get that one run back. And I just have to say, that Lane Drew guy, I mean, you normally throw a bullpen at the mound, but you don't throw an actual pen at the mound, and that's very surprising that something like that has happened. I think that could be Lane Drew. I mean, there's a chant that is formed in the club in the crowd that says "Let Drew hit." I'm hearing it. If you can hear it from the booth, probably not. Our windows are pretty airtight. But yeah, it's very. It might actually be Lane Drew, and in that case, that might be some morale issues that the Toronto PR might have to answer for.
We'll have to figure that out. That's been a very interesting case up in Toronto. Most of these teams have had just someone from them representing, but Toronto just has a completely separate dude that's running a lot of the stuff. And, he's followed his job, which I think his job is just to make other people upset. But still, I think he's done a very, very decent job there running Toronto. But I am, as you know, a little biased.
Oh, exactly. And so it seems like we're still waiting on this pinch hitter.
Looks like Lane Drew is going to come in to pinch hit.
Oh, it looks like Lane Drew is actually going to be given the bat and a helmet, and the security is going to be pushed off of him, and he's going to be given a chance to perhaps tie this game up in the top of the fifth. I mean, the Twins could really use this chance. So the timer is done. We're going to officially see Lane Drew hit a ball here, and hopefully, or maybe to the dismay of fans, this might be a very regretful sort of choice for them, because, I mean, they don't want him to hit. So it's definitely this could be some dramatics that could shock the MLR world for some time to come. So yeah, definitely we need to change that box score to show Lane Drew.
This is not WWE. This is not pre-planned. This just happened to be the circumstance. I don't know if that was planned by Drew, but man, the whole stadium is chanting his name, hoping for him to come up here and provide a big hit for the Twins here in the top of the fifth.
And here he comes, and the crowd is cheering. They know that this is more than just a game. This is a novelty. They want to see a hometown shortstop from the Toronto Blue Jays really come up here and show what he's made of. They really wanted to. They really wanted him to get at bats here. They wanted him on the team originally, but he wasn't able to get there. So instead he gets to bat here. So this is where Philly fans think he should belong. But for now, he's going to be batting this exhibition game, and he's going to take ball one inside from Oliver Yu. These two are known to be good friends. I mean, they've collaborated on some podcasts. So these two, obviously, this is a close relationship we got going on here with the batter and the pitcher. As the count is 0-1, Oliver Yu sets, deals. Oh! The crowd is in shock as Lane Drew is hit on the torso. I don't know if that was if that was planned by Oliver Yu. It probably wasn't. The umpire doesn't think so. But yes, as a hit by pitch, as he is drilled in the side, Lane Drew takes a little moment to sort of regain himself and throws the bat to the dugout, and that will be a leadoff base runner for the Minnesota Twins.
What a shot. This is just an insane turn of events here that's happening. Jeez. I gotta say,
the crowd is into
Lane
it, though.
Drew just throwing a pen into the crowd, throwing a pen at the ump, coming up to bat, and then just absolutely getting drilled. I do not think that's what he expected. Wow, that's not what I expected here coming to the ballpark today. I'm gonna be frank with you, Jay.
Yeah, it was definitely a turn of events. This is a very dramatic fifth inning, which is turned. Even though it's the last inning, it is just something. It's definitely not a deceleration of excitement. If anything, it's shown. It's sort of pumped this game up for the fans.
His reference now steps to the plate. Reference, who is 0 for 2 on the day, is still looking for his first hit. Flew out in both of his at-bats. And hasn't been as patient at the plate as he would have wished.
We'll remind the people that it is 1 out so far. Or no, it isn't his leadoff. I forgot. That was not an auto K. So yeah, it's 0 outs right now, and that's a real big problem for you. If he needs to try to get this one away. So we're still waiting on this swing here. Or this pitch. Was the pitch thrown? Yes, the pitch was thrown, so we're still waiting on it.
Daz reference is up right now.
Daz reference has 2 at-bats on the day. I think he has 2 flyouts, yes. So this is his 3rd at-bat of the day. He's trying to get on base for the first time for the Twins, trying to make something, especially with that runner on first. If you get that runner in with a double, that could mean, or a triple, that could mean the world to the Twins that happen to be scattered amongst this very lively, full attendance audience here at Citizens Bank Park.
Rilo. You know, a few minutes ago, the audience was pretty upset that the game was possibly called early, but now I think they're pretty into having this game just. Oh, this has been a remarkable turn of events, and it's been for this crowd here. It seems like Drew was complaining that he spent all his money on this game, but I wonder. Toronto does not pay their players pretty well. I think Drew should have plenty of money to come to a MLR scrimmage for a couple teams that he knows pretty well.
And I definitely think he got his money's worth here, Milo. I mean, getting to bat here in the bottom of the 5th, even if he got drilled, I mean, he's on base now. He could represent the tying run. I mean, talk about an experience. I mean, Lane Drew doesn't get a break from fake baseball. It's going into the All-Star break here, and he's just still out there taking at-bats, and in this case, taking pitches to the back. But, hey, same thing.
Absolutely. What a play along with Lane Drew here. He's been very entertaining, and he seems to be smiling at first as we're waiting for Daz to step out of the dugout here. But
looks like he is.
Daz, very fun game for those participating, and I'm not saying that just for confirmation bias. I hope that everyone that's participated in this game has had a fun time as well.
We sure have.
Announcing it for sure. But these are kind of closing remarks. We still have an inning left to go.
And we do have Daz reference stepping up.
Going for reference from the dugout. I do not know if I can see him.
Yeah, he stepped up. It's in.
Oh, so, my.
Yeah.
This rain is really getting in my line of sight, man.
Definitely, I understand. Are you still on?
Oh, yep. Sorry. It's just seeing reference here. It looks like he has a 1-1 count. Couldn't even see the first few pitches. Oh, he's got 1-1 count as Oliver Yu delivers, and he pushes that one high. That's in the air. I can't really see where the ball is. Hope that's in left field somewhere.
Ooh, is this a hit? Did they tie it?
No, It looks like Franklin got a hold of it. I really can't see a lot through this rain.
I don't know how Franklin was able to see that himself. I mean, just a good athletic play from a player who's not even an outfielder by nature. I mean, he just came out here and he just made a play that really counted, and that's 1 out. And now we're going to see Jack Marnett.
Absolutely. So now we have Jack Marnett come to the plate. 1 out here. Lane Drew retreats to first. These are soaked in the field right now, so hopefully they're running here. I'm interested to see Lane Drew run here with a soaked jersey too. This has got to slow him down a little.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, don't look now, but the last out, or at least we might see the last out, be in the hands of Ricky Steele, the pitcher. Could he be... If Jack Marnett gets out here, then he'll be the last chance for the Twins, and what a story that would be if he was able to drive in. the tying or even the go-ahead run.
Absolutely, but we have to remember that's if Jack Marnett does not ground into a double play here. That could be a huge hindrance to this Twins team. I mean, that's going to end the game, and you do not want to do that if you're Marnett at this plate.
Well, you hope that doesn't happen because you might draw the ire of Minnesota fans telling you that you jinxed it. So, I mean, that could be a thing.
I will accept the blame for that, to be fair. So any Twins fans listening, I apologize. To lighten your mood, the Wild won today pretty handily, and the Timberwolves are hanging in there with the Rockets. So at least there's the other sports in the Minnesota neighborhood that are still doing pretty well. So don't worry too much.
Do you think Lane Drew is going to steal here?
That's a big question. I didn't even think of that, but that's a very high possibility.
I mean, he has the speed. Has he stolen a base before? I think he has one. I can go check real quick in the stats. I mean, we're a very mom and pop business here, so we have to check the stats ourselves. We don't have a stat taker thus far. But it looks like on the season so far he has 0 stolen bases. But I mean, he has a small frame. I feel like he's a zippy shortstop. He should be able to steal here if he absolutely wants to. But will that destroy the game, and will he care enough given the fact that he is not even a part of this team?
We're still waiting for Marnett to step into the box here, but that seems like it'd be the right strategy to take. But I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so it seems like Jack Marnett's going to step up. A big situation here. A hit, a triple could tie the game, and a double could put runners on the corners. Actually, it's 2 outs right now, so a double could, or no, it's 1 out right now. Okay, so a triple would tie the game. I'm just losing my mind right now. I keep forgetting that first at bat was substituted just in time. So right now we have 1 out. A triple could tie it. And here comes the pitch from Oliver Yu, and that is a fastball for a strike. The umpire Kevin Ariana is just shielding his eyes, just taking off his helmet to wipe the sweat. It's just such a intense game, as a 1-0 count is on or a 0-1 count is on Jack Marnett. The Twins hitter, he's been on this team for a while as he takes a ball low to make the count even. He's been on this team for a while. He's known as a pretty reliable hitter here. So if anybody can do it, I feel to Charlie Scott, this guy is the guy to do it. Oliver Yu sets and deals. Ground ball. This one's to second base. To second for 1. To first. In time! And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. A big upset from the Minnesota Twins as they ground into a double play from Jack Marnett. That was a brilliant play to get the double play by Charlie Bay Jr., who may just be the player of the game today. Just amazing. Charlie Bay Jr. to Jake Wilson, all the way back to Joe Runzer, who's filling in right now for Miguel Snow, and that will do it for the Twins. The Phillies are going to win this game by a final score of 3-2. And what do you have to say about this, Milo?
An absolute success. I think a lot of the fans here have really enjoyed it. They seem upset that we're cutting the inning short, but I think it's been quite a long game. This rain is really pouring down. I'm not sure if you could see much more in this game.
I'm surprised Charlie Bay didn't slip there. I mean, it was just a fantastic play. The ball is just grounded right into the shift. He moves over to his side. He gets it. He throws to Wilson, and just a great relay to first. And that's just all the Phillies fans could ask for.
And I don't know if you all noticed there, but while that double play was being turned, Lane Drew actually didn't even slide. He just completely ran into Charlie Bay Jr. there and just trucked him.
Wilson was covering second, but yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right.
It was quite the barrel, I should say. It was a really rough play. He went old school there.
Yeah,
which seems kind of weird. Lane's been smiling and just taking hits, but man, he seems like it's really upset his attitude. But man, what a game! What a way to finish! And Lane, they might need to pull him off the field before he throws another pen at a player.
Yeah, Oliver Yu is just. I mean, he's such an emotionalist. Just he gets it done, and I mean, he threw up a smile there as he went to high five his catcher there, Willie Dustis or Casey Batts for the win. Well, that will do it for us, folks. It's a 3-2 win for the Phillies in the inaugural MLR Tonight Sunday night fake baseball broadcast. It's been fun, guys. It's been a very challenging and taxing game, but I've had a great time today, and I'm sure my co-anchors, my co-commentators have as well, right?
Yeah, no, it was definitely fun. Yeah, just let us know what you thought about the format in general and our show.
Yeah, we want to do one of these for at least one game per session. And I mean, as you may, like, these games usually take a week or 2 weeks. A week would be good. But we just finished basically 4.5 innings in about less than 3 hours. So I'd call this a huge success. What did you think, Milo, about this?
I really enjoyed this. I want to give a big shout out to Jay and to my gosh, I can't think of the Twins manager's name. Semi-charm Mike. I'll just go with that.
Charlie Scott.
I think it's Scott, but I was thinking Scotty Smalls. Jay, having your teams join us here today. Big thank you to all the Twins and Phillies. It's a terrible day for me.
And the one Indian.
Twins and the Phillies.
Yeah, the one Indian. That's true.
This is a wonderful game. And so thank you for helping out and making this game really fast. And also, final big shout out to Kevin, because that's a lot of work to
definitely.
Quickly.
If you thought we were doing a lot of work, just behind the scenes, Kevin was working his ass off, and that was a really, really good job. But yeah, I mean, like, we had some like stutters, some poor like play calls, but overall, I mean, I thought that was a lot of fun, and I feel like I'd like to do it again to kind of work on it and get better, and I think everybody else had a good time while watching. But yeah, that'll be it for Sunday Night Fake Baseball. The Phillies beat the Twins 3-2 in 5 innings in a rain-shortened game. Oliver U picks up the win, and we hope to see you again for our next broadcast, whatever it may be. Thank you for watching.
Night.